Hey, good morning, everyone. So my name is Christian. Here we have,
Oh, John.
And Meylin.
and we're off the record podcast. Yeah, I had to check. This is my first time here.
Not having to check. That's wild.
Yeah, so this is my first time hosting this podcast. I've been featured on it once before, and yeah, I'm happy to be here. So today we're gonna be talking about creative expression and like what that means for everyone, what that means for you as a person individually, and so we're gonna start off with just a little icebreaker and a little intro to the idea of like not just creative expression but like perspective from each person individually. So this little icebreaker is called like weather signs, and it's basically saying like how are you doing today, and how are you feeling today, based off of a weather sign. So I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say today I'm feeling a stormy evening with like thunder in the background. That's how I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. I want to say probably like the sun is shining. It's out. There's a little breeze. It's great. It's beach weather. Yeah, it's beach weather.
I think for me, I want to say fog, like an overcast. But I know for sure as the day goes through, it'll be sunny like you. For sure. Yeah.
And so that's our weather signs. And so how this ties into like the idea of creative expression is how everyone can interpret a different like weather sign differently, right? So for example, and how the same weather sign could mean multiple things. So I said like thunder, background, stormy. Stormy for me right now is because I'm super nervous. I'm not good at the camera stuff, so that's a fun time for me. But on a different weather, like thunder in the background could be calming for me, right? I can imagine reading a book and chilling in bed. So how different weather can mean different things, and so
that's actually really interesting too, though.
That's like a different perspective to look at it.
Because I feel like to somebody else would have interpreted that as like, oh, you're having such a bad day, like you're having a really bad day, and Christian's just there like, nah, I'm chilling. This is it. Like, this is peak.
Dancing in the rain. Dancing in the rain.
Period.
And so, going a little bit further, even with Meylin, because you said you're feeling like foggy. Can you elaborate why that feeling?
I want to say just because, like, I'm not a morning person sometimes. I feel like, your girl kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. But I do feel like as the day goes on, it will get better.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Right. And so, in my mind, I think foggy is like, it's not that bad. Like for me,
like I got this.
Yeah, like I went to the beach this weekend and it was like overcast and I loved it. So
nice.
Beach weather for John might be sunny and getting sunburnt, and then for me, it's it's a nice cool breeze and like reading a book on the beach.
Not to throw shade, like.
What are you talking about? Anyways, let's move on. So that was just a little intro to talking about creative expression, and so just on a broader basis, I want to ask you guys, what does creative expression mean to you?
Honestly, I feel like for me, it's just the ways that I can just express myself. I want to be able, just like, let's say, for example, you see me and some way be like, oh, dang. Like, I feel like for me, it's just like fashion-wise. I feel like I get to express myself through clothing, through pieces that I can put together, whether it's a purse, shoes. So I feel like for me, that's just one big way as to how I express creativity. Yeah.
I feel like for me, it's just like, it's almost about like making sense of things like that don't typically make sense. So I like that. Yeah. That's how like creative expression comes around. It's just I'm trying to make sense of things.
Yeah, something I think about just like art in general. So obviously there's different types of art, but like I like how one person can see a piece of art and then invoke a certain feeling or thought that maybe completely is separate from what someone else might see or think when they see that piece of art.
Yeah.
And so kind of like that was my first thought when you said that, is like making sense of something for yourself rather than what other people can see it as.
See, I feel like that is such a like. I feel like not enough people talk about that now. Is because I feel like people are either like, oh, it's good or it's bad. There's no in between, and it's like actually everything's subjective. Just because you like don't like a song doesn't mean I'm not gonna like it. So or like just because you didn't like that show or you didn't like that play doesn't mean I'm not gonna like it.
I do feel like we also live in a society where if one person says it, everybody should think that. Everybody should be
know.
on the same wave as everybody.
Everybody is so quick to jump on the bandwagon. Like,
Yeah.
girl, buy the ticket. Go see the movie yourself. Go see
Be
the concert
yourself.
yourself. Like,
Yeah.
there's just go experience life and then come to your own conclusions.
Exactly.
Because TikTok, Twitter, like whatever they're calling
Social
themselves
media
now.
has a huge
Yeah, social media
wavelength of, like,
is
I don't understand
for
it
real.
sometimes.
It's just like it's what is it? Like it's an echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
You're only hearing one side, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, that actually makes me think my biggest pet peeve is when someone says, like, oh, there's a fine line between this or that. And they always use that in a situation where the line's really blurry. There's never a fine line.
There
It's like,
is, yeah.
No.
it's rarely cut like black and white.
Yeah. That's why I feel like there's a difference between like content creation and being an artist.
Yeah.
I feel like
1,000%. And I feel like now, since everybody tends to be so involved within social media, people forget that.
Yeah.
That there is different roles. Yeah.
and that's not to like knock content creators because honestly,
It's work.
yeah.
You have to really put in the work.
Have you seen some of their schedules? They're like filming days on end. So I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Let me jump on that. What do you think is the difference, right? Because obviously, I feel like a content creator, like, they have to make the content. They have to
Yeah.
either write it or plan it out.
Plan it out.
Direct, like, I'm thinking if you're doing a skit, you have to write it, record it, act in it, all these different things.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that's like a form of art versus like where do you think that line is between content creation and it being like an artist?
I mean, I definitely think that there's still like some artistic expression in there some way, like if you're expressing yourself authentically. But I mean, at some point, it kind of becomes like you're creating a character for views. Once it becomes
Yeah,
about
you're
views,
not being yourself
streams, like
Because I
whatever it
followed
is,
people
yeah.
before because it's them. Like, they are authentically being themselves. And eventually, you just see the media and the content changing slowly. And eventually, it just
Yeah.
seems like a persona that they just created, an online
Yeah.
character. Then I'm like, wait a minute. I
But
don't
see,
resonate with you anymore.
if you realize, I feel like it's the people that don't end up giving into that whole thing of like, oh, I need to
Yeah.
change, like, or they stick with their same brand that they've had for like forever. Suddenly, people switch up on them and they're like, oh,
yeah,
I
like, the
liked you
content
for
gets
this
boring.
years
Yeah.
ago, and now it's just like cringe. I'm like, girl, no,
But
it's
the
not.
Same, but it's the same thing that they've
Yeah.
been watching. But I also feel like, once again, I feel like social media tends to have a lot of it comes with pressure, I
Yeah.
feel like, as well, and it's always changing so fast. So people, their attention span changes a lot.
Well, yeah,
Me, myself included.
TikTok really like
That 2 times speed go crazy. Like, all my friends and coworkers know that everything I watch in 2 times speed. But you know what I mean? So I think if you're not involving with what people are into, then it's just kind of like, oh, it's boring. Like, kind of like what you
Yeah.
said, it's cringe. But in reality, they've been them this whole time.
literally. Well, that being said, I love cringe. Like a little healthy bit of cringe. I love it. Like I'm obsessed with it. Be cringe. I love it. I want to see cringe. Not like cringe where I gotta physically look away, but like
Like, oh.
yeah, like
Okay.
you're
That's
so
Like a little tap,
quirky.
like,
I was like, you're so quirky. Like I just love it. I love
That's so
cringe.
mean.
you're like, oh yeah, I resonate.
Real. I'm like, we're all a little cringe. It's fine.
Yeah, for sure, I agree.
But yeah, I feel like art, like being an actual artist is more of like you're not really like, obviously you still have to keep some sort of an audience in mind, but it's less
Yeah.
focused on the audience and more focused on like, I want to say like it's almost, sometimes it's a lot less focused on you too. It's just something you got out of the void, and it's just like you're, artist is more like you're just a vessel for communicating something rather than content creation. You're like constantly seeing what the like kind of what's going on, what's trending, and you have to adapt and things to all of these different things. So that's why I feel like it gets, even I feel like especially with like musical artists, it gets like so weird to navigate that because you obviously have to stay with the times
Yeah,
for the general public, but also you're like, you have to stay authentic.
yeah,
don't
and
know.
produce music that you also love and you want to
Yeah.
keep producing. But I think it's just hard
I
because, like you
know.
mentioned, things are constantly changing all the time, and people view certain things differently. That artists are like, okay, how do I stay within the same realm, but then also be me when producing these music. Yeah.
I feel like the important part to just talk about is that it's all complexities. Like it's being an artist is so complex. There's not one way to do it.
I agree.
So
something that made me think about that also is just like the ability to change, right?
Yeah.
So like I feel like one thing is like staying genuine, what you guys were saying, like versus creating persona, but at the same time also allowing for change in that person. So I think about this with a lot of like music artists is that they often get pigeonholed into making one type of music, and then so if they ever try to branch out from that, then the audience is gonna push back really hard because they're not used to that. That's not what they want from this artist.
Yeah.
Like I think of I don't know, I think of just different artists, especially ones who have like done a lot of pop, and as they get older, they want to branch away from pop because like how much like as you're in your 40s, how much more can you resonate with the idea of like I'm a teenager living teenage life kind of thing versus like
and for example,
I mean that's how all pop music is too.
Oh, as an example though, as an example, it's like it's the idea that as you grow, you might not be able to resonate with your music as much. But
that's fair.
The fans still expect you to sing it and resonate with it the way you did when you first released it.
Could you imagine having to sing a song over and over again that you hate?
No.
It's a fan favorite and you just hate it. Like
you're like, I'm sick of this. No more, please, no more.
You're like, y'all want this on the set list again? Y'all not tired? Let it clock out. Let it retire.
You can't put out a good song and expect people not to be hooked on it, though. I feel like it just kind of comes with the job.
Timeless hits.
I think a lot of times, like, you hear artists who, like, it'll be one of the songs in the album they thought was just going to be, like, a filler song. And that's usually the one that blows up.
That blows up the most.
The filler song. Meylin, I had a question for you. Because you said something about, like, the idea of liking certain, like, influencers because of, I think it was, like, you're talking about fashion influencers because they seem, like, genuine, right? But then, like, are you interested in high fashion? Is that something that you're also interested in? Because, like, at least in my mind, right? I'm not a fashion person. I don't know a lot, right? Like, I put on a shirt, and I was like, some corduroy jeans. I'm good.
But that, in a sense, is kind of coordinating. It's within the same realm. I feel like people think of fashion, and it's like, I got to be dripped out in designer. I have to have a fancy Prada shirt or a fancy Louis Vuitton bag. But that's not about, that's not the thing about it. You know what I mean? It comes in different ways and shapes. And that's the one thing that gravitates me towards fashion, because you just get to express you. And even if you're like, this morning, you were like, I'm going to wear this black shirt and these corduroys, like, in a sense, you're doing the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. I'm thinking of certain, like, outfits that, like, I see on, like, runways and stuff. Where it's, like, that stuff's not practical for day-to-day.
No, 1,000%. Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, where is that line between, like, oh, this is something that's, like, I don't know, like, genuine down to the earth versus it's, like, the fashion for the art. Like, at what point is it, like, representing you versus representing the art? Kind of like what John was saying, being the vessel versus being yourself. If that makes sense. I don't know.
You know, there's a lot of people, like, on, like, TikTok and stuff that their casual day-to-day dresses are just, like, crazy. They're, like, the type of fits that I would only wear to a concert. Like, but they're just, they're, like, just
walking
decked
closet
out.
Type energy.
Yeah. I'm like, that's, I don't know, crazy to me.
And I guess just kind of to go back, and I think that's what I love about it. It's that someone can literally pull up in, like, a fancy dress, heels, hair up, everything. And that's just their day-to-day style, you know what I mean? And someone that comes in, like, jeans, T-shirt, that's their style. But that's what makes them them. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's just them being true to themselves and expressing themselves how they want to express themselves. And I feel like that's something that within the fashion realm, I've been able to navigate, because I could throw something on, and if I'm being honest, I could be having a horrible day. But let's say I switch it up and I throw on a nice fit and I feel confident, I feel beautiful that day, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm ready to kick butt. You know what I mean today? So I feel like it's just, I don't know, the boost of confidence it gives me. I don't know, I can't even express the feeling it gives me. Yeah.
But you don't even just do fashion, because like you're like, this girl can interior design the heck out of any space. It's just crazy. Like,
my Pinterest is go.
We've hung out in her living room sometimes, and I'm like, the vibes. Just
thank you. I feel like when I did move out to my own space, I felt like I was able to express my creativity more, which I honestly feel like I got from both my parents. They both have an artist eye, especially within the homes. but just I love being able to add new pieces, whether it resonates with me in the moment, or I know that it's like a timeless piece, and I'm like, this would be cool to even hand down to my own children one day.
Yeah.
So I feel like adding the pop of colors. You know, at one point I was a beige girl. Beige and greens was the vibe in my home. Very neutral, you know, very calming. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to add a color in here. And that's where all my posters came from, my little accent pillows. I have a lot of pillows, guys. It's actually crazy. But, yeah, thank you for that.
It's very much, have you guys seen those TikToks where it's like, not my place, or like I don't live here but I know my way around? That's what you give when you like you're like your living room and stuff. It's so cozy that you're like,
thank you.
Yeah, home.
And I'm glad that's what it projects, because I feel like that's what the feeling I want people to feel when they come to my home. I want them to feel welcomed. I want them to feel cozy and comfy as soon as they walk through those doors, and me able to hold that space for them. So I think it's nice hearing that. So thank you, Johnny.
So nice, Johnny.
I right.
I have my moments, yeah. I have my moments.
I'm waiting for you to say something like that about me. Anyways.
You gonna be waiting a while now.
What's that phrase? It's like que no pidan, no coman. I was like, keep it in your mind, John. I'll be waiting. But okay, and John, so let's jump to you a little bit, because we're talking all about fashion and whatnot. And so I know you're a little person. You like playwriting. You like the arts in that regard. And so how does that come out in creative expression? And in a lot of ways, how fashion is a representation of who she is as a person and her identity. How does like your identity come out in your form of art?
Honestly, I feel like it's just like a lot of the times it'll be like the characters will reflect little parts of myself. So I'm not saying like the entire character will be based off of me, but I feel like a lot of times, well, even like the last round that we did for the when we did the play festival last year, a lot of my friends went and they saw the thing, and they're like, "Oh, that one's you. No, wait, no, that one's you. No, that one's you. Yeah, no, they're all me. they're different. Yeah, they live on different planes, like, because we're complex, like,
multifaceted.
What is it? It was on Shrek. It was like, you're an onion.
The layers?
Yeah, the layers. So I feel like, yeah, they're just different layers, yeah. So that's kind of like where it comes out. I feel like definitely like when I'm writing and the characters start forming, they kind of take on a life of their own. Like when I'm writing, they really do feel real to me in a way. So it's like they literally feel like real, like.
Honestly, I can even back that up, because I feel like for one of the plays he wrote, Otro Capítulo, that play, guys, was amazing. I want to say, like, when I was even reading the script, I was like, what? The whole time I was glued to that script. And even, like, seeing the actors play it out during rehearsals and everything, even when it came down to, like, choosing their outfits, everything seemed so real. Like, these characters actually existed, which is it's kind of crazy at the same time that you think about it, which I can only just imagine the feeling you get when doing these scripts, when actually creating a life of them. You know?
I don't know. It's kind of nerve-wracking, because like, you're at the time, you're like, I remember the first iteration of it that I wrote, and I showed it to my cousin, and she was like, the main character, she was like, wow, I hate him. She's like, he's so mean. And I was literally like, you're not supposed to. I was like, you're not supposed to hate the main character.
Like, what are you talking about? No, stop.
No, literally, I do not understand writers that can like just backtrack and like hate on their own characters, because I'm like, you created them. To me, I'm like, those characters are my babies. Like, leave me alone. Like, I would never go to war, but I would.
For my characters, I will.
Yeah, I was like, I wrote them. All the bad decisions they made, I made them. Like,
no, for real.
You know what's actually interesting? So there's this book I like reading, and it's like partially romance, and so it's interesting because the author hates the main like male lead, right? She hates him, and so it makes me think about that. But like in the process of her writing the book, like in the way that you say like these characters have their own lives, like the way that the story started unfolding, she's like, wait a minute, he's the main romance. Like she purposely did not want him to be the main romance lead. And then he ended up becoming
it ended unfolding.
That's kind of how that story went. Like that story took a life of its own. Yeah. And so in that same way, like that's why I think she hates it, but like I gotta write it now because it's not up to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like honestly, it takes a life of its own. There's characters that you can kind of be like, oh, I'm not really a fan, but you also have to like. You have to keep in mind that everybody's complex, and you have to move away from like being a good or bad like character or whatever, because everybody's complex. So even the villain needs to have a really compelling storyline. You really need to be able to almost root for them in a way, but you have to write the main character in a way that where you're like you're rooting for them more. Yeah, where it's like maybe not that you're like rooting for the villain or but you're like you understand why they're doing it. Yeah. Interesting. I think that's where the best stories lie, is when you understand.
When you resonate with them in a sense.
Mm-hmm. When you're like, wow, that could have been me.
Because I feel like even when like reading books and things, that when you resonate with the character or the storyline, I feel like it entices you more to keep on going and learning how this character development unfolds and what the end and the outcome looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes me think of the idea, and this goes like with beyond just books, but also TV and everything. Is I feel like so often they write a story for the sake of a story rather than the sake of like a journey, if that makes sense. So like kind of what you're saying, like you want to see what's happening with these characters. You like sometimes you see yourself in them. You want to see them succeed, and other times I feel like you're watching a show just because like you want to binge rather than getting immersed in that world. And so. I don't know. There
are shows that definitely like they kind of hit it out of the ballpark, and there's shows that they're like, okay. Normally, it's like sitcoms where you're like, it's less about the journey of the characters and more about just like the situation. But then, I mean, thinking about like shows like Desperate Housewives.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Don't get them started.
Whole journey.
No, guys. He literally put me down this rabbit hole with Desperate Housewives. It's actually pretty crazy. I had to stop. I hit season 5 and I hit a block where I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep watching this because these characters are just like,
but at that point you're so invested in them.
That is very true.
So I'm like, I don't know.
I'm gonna give myself another week, then I'll start again. So.
I don't know what they put into their characters, but they're timeless. They honestly, like, I don't get tired of watching them.
The amount of times I'm like, this character, blah 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 blah. And I'm just crashing out over the phone, texting him at 11, like, are you serious right now? But yeah.
And so,
you're next, Christian. You're next.
Well, so I have started watching it on TikTok. You'd see
the little clips.
And so I was like, let me go to the account. Where's the next episode?
That's so funny.
Gabriella, why'd you do that? That's crazy.
Susan, why'd you do that? Edie, oh my God. Lord. And it just goes on and on, guys. So let me not start.
And so talking about like other media, I want to ask, in your journey of learning creative expression, learning yourselves, learning your own identity, how does that change the way that you absorb media or absorb creativity, right? So like, for example, let's say I'm thinking to myself, like, I care more about my fashion now than I did like 5 years ago, right? And even then it's like little jump, minuscule, but I'm more aware now. So now, like, if before I would walk down the street, living my life, la-di-da-di-da, then now I'll be like, oh, that's nice, and then la-di-da-di-da. Kind of like I'm more aware of what other people are wearing because I'm paying more attention to myself.
Yeah.
So in that same way, like, how does that affect how you guys just live your life? Like, would you say you're hyper aware if something looks good on someone or not? Do you think, like, when you're reading a story, you think, or watching something, you're like, oh, I see the author in this kind of thing. Like, where does it come into your life?
So there's this neat little trick that my one of my professors taught us, that I kind of live by it now. He said, now that you've learned how to pick apart things and you've learned to like dissect things to see how they work and everything, now's time for you to just be quiet and watch the movie, like, or to watch the show, or, and I kind of just, I live by that now because I'm like, it's so easy to like just dissect everything and be like, that works, but not for this, not for that, like, or that fit works, just not on you. Like, I feel like it's so easy to get into that mindset of being like, like find the faults in it, but I'm just like, with me, I feel like as long as I can ground myself in something, if something makes sense to me, something I believe, I can forgive a lot. Like even with like I feel like even like the new like live action Snow White, a lot of people hated it.
Yeah.
I found something to ground myself in the story, which was like Rachel. I think she was a phenomenal actress in it. Like I think she did a great job in that one. I really believed her, and then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can forgive this.
The artist, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
I
I'm
forgive
like,
the movie.
yeah, I'm like,
you're watching for the plot.
And sometimes I feel like you just kind of have to do that. It has to be for the plot. I feel like not everything has to have like a plan or there has to be rules. I feel like sometimes, like I said, for the plot.
I was like, no, literally. Sometimes you have to know the rules to break them, but like,
yeah. But I feel like
it's just so much fun.
I liked what you said, finding something where there's like a ground where you can just kind of set yourself in, because things are changing rapidly.
Yeah.
I feel like we live in a world now, in a society where things are changing constantly, different trends, different everything. That if you don't get a grip of something, it's like, girl, you're going to be like this.
Yeah.
You know, you won't really know how to like ground yourself within the chaos. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's really important to stay true to yourself as well. I feel like although fashion constantly changes, I do feel like finding your style. What do you like? Because what I like, you may not like, and that is definitely okay. The same thing goes for you. It's just kind of finding what you want to do and the ways you want to express yourself. And I feel like people should be open-minded to that and open to the fact that not everyone's the same. Not everyone's going to like the same things as you. Yeah. And really still maintaining being you with living in a society that's always going to be changing no matter what.
Yeah. Also feel like not everything has to have this big dramatic meaning or like be very like, I don't know. Not everything has to be so deep. Yeah. Sometimes it's just for the plot. Sometimes it's just fun. Sometimes,
and I feel like people lost sight of that. I feel like everything has to carry a big meaning towards it.
I feel like, especially like with music coming out, everyone's like, I don't know, they're expecting like some Taylor Swift album where the lyrics are like deep and like, or things like that, or they're almost like poetic. And I'm like, that's cute for you. I love that for you. I just want to bob my head in the car. Like, I want to be like, yeah. You know? I want fun.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, the music thing, I'm very much in life, like, journey over destination, right? Because when you get there, you're like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
What
now?
Yeah. It's all about the journey.
Yeah. And the memories you create with it, too.
Yeah.
Kind of like even with body art, too. With people that express themselves that way. I feel like some people look at them and they're like, oh, what does that mean? Or why'd you get that? And it's like, just because.
Just because I like it.
Just went on a random Thursday to the shop and, you know. But I feel like it just means different things for people. And that's okay, too.
Yeah.
It really goes down to what we were talking about, that creative expression can mean something different for every single person. And while there's obviously going to be overlaps and we can appreciate. So, like, when we were talking about doing this whole conversation, I was coming in saying, like, I'm not a creative person. Like, I'm not a creator. It's not really my forte. I like math. I like looking at numbers.
I'm the opposite. I do not like math.
But I feel like there is some sort of creative expression in there because y'all really should see his like whole Excel sheets.
It's crazy.
They pop off. Yeah. Color coordinated. They pop off.
Stop, guys. Stop.
The way
our audit forms. May I just throw that in there, guys?
The audit form.
Man was driving me crazy for like 2 weeks.
Meylin.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the last one.
Meylin. Oh, you'll get that by next week.
You'll get it when you get it.
Anyway, moving on, but yeah, it's, maybe I do have a little bit of creativity in me. But at least for myself, I am a big appreciator of arts, right? Like, so I've always liked books. I like movies. That's a big one. I recently counted up fun fact for those who live in the AV, if you go to Sam's Club, they sell for $50 gift cards for Cinemark for only $40. So that's a 20% savings right there. And so that's what I do.
The math kicked in. I love that.
And so, like, whenever I go to Cinemark, I just stop by Sam's Club. I buy those. And so I did the math. I spent over like $1,000 on Cinemark gift cards over the past couple of years.
Wow.
Because one, the concessions are kind of expensive, but two, I like going to the movies. I'm a multiple theater,
Yeah.
like multiple times during the month, during the week. I remember one time I went to like the theaters like every day for a week or something.
The employees are like, "Is that him again?"
But it's like, because I like appreciating. I like reading a book and being like, oh, like I like just absorbing that, or like seeing a cool piece of fashion. I was like, oh, you know what? Like whatever you did right there, it works, and I like looking at that. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Are you one of those people that can watch a movie, like over again, like consistently?
Some movies.
Okay.
Some movies, like I'll see it once, I'm like, I'm done. And then there's other movies where like, same thing with TV shows. Like sometimes I'll see it once, I'm done. Other ones like I'm rewatching the Bear for like the third time.
Oh, I heard that show's really good.
It's good. They're like, chef. So I love that show. But yeah, so that's kind of what we were talking about. It's like I appreciate it. And so like I love talking to John about what he's talking about with his characters, and he's putting his art to it, because I love seeing that art in him, and also seeing like where his brain's at. Like how does he think of this? Like, and I remember recently, because fun fact, John is doing another shameless plug. We're doing another theater show, and so if he wants to come in and what's it called, create script, have it played by the actors at Antelope Valley College. Yeah, that's a possibility. We'll be on our Instagram, the next workshop. So feel free to join in. But I'm planning to write a script, and the way that we both looked at an idea and had two different takes on how that script can go. It was like, it's really cool. It's really cool seeing how our minds work different ways, and yet they both can create something that's like equally cool, awesome. And then, so just like to see us be able to work in that. And I know I got to Meylin and be like, Meylin, like, what do you think about this fit? I got this new shirt, or I'm planning to buy this bag. Like, what do you think? And she's like, let me go to Pinterest real quick. Let me make a board.
I
love that.
Fun fact, for some coworkers, I do have boards made for them, so they can kind of go and get inspo on there. And see, to me, that's something I love doing, that I don't mind. I honestly love putting outfits together. Let's not talk about the shopping spree that Christian did one time, and tends to blame it on me. But
he said, I gotta earn the fits.
He did say that. He says he has to earn the rights to wear the outfits. But
yeah, I like one weekend we went out. I spent like $800. $800 that, mind in fact, I did not have. She pushed me to do it, and so like for months after getting those outfits, I did not wear them because I hadn't earned them yet. But I wearing them, and they look good, and
see, that's all that matters.
Yeah, definitely. Like, don't take our advice, just not on finances, because Clark and I living on thoughts and prayers, good vibes only. Like,
no, literally,
she's but
Christian's like.
Yeah.
No. Don't do it.
Like, keep in mind, I did it and it wasn't the wisest thing, but I still managed to come on top. I don't use Klarna.
Oh, well.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
You know
Maybe
what?
some of our audience use it.
Yeah.
We may or may not be having a finance workshop coming up. Very much do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah.
Let's not say that I might be the financial coach.
I'll make you guys an Excel sheet, take it home, make a budget.
Those afterpay apps are going crazy, but
you know that
experiences.
That's true.
Priceless.
Priceless. Like movies.
Seeing your favorite artist up close 3 times. Priceless.
I was just about to say that. I was like,
priceless.
You've seen Miss Katie 3 times. But it's okay. The memories were created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I regret nothing.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming into Off the Record podcast. This was Christian,
Meylin,
and John.
And we were talking about creative expression. I don't know where this gets posted, but if you guys want to share some of your ways that you guys get creative or anything, then...
Oh, yeah. Share them down in the link.
Comments.
DM us. Anything.
All of the above. We want to hear it. It's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, and have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.